Hello. I love how Photo Booth always does the little makes like little sounds before it starts recording. It's like ding, ding, ding. It's great. Because obviously I don't have the right gear to podcast. So this is what we're dealing with. So I'm podcasting with Photo Booth. And it's the right microphone at least. That's great. So, hello and welcome back to Average It Girls. This time it's a bit of a different episode, obviously, because I'm alone in my bed, as you can see. And usually, as you know, or for the people who don't know, maybe people don't know, usually I have another person here with me. I host Average It Girls. I'm Sophie. Hi. I host Average It Girls. And I have other people with me and we talk about whatever we come up with, really. And this time it's a bit different. And it's not because I ran out of friends, I think, but it's because one of my friends, Geraldine, who you know from episode 2 and 5, suggested that I should take my time to do solo episodes every once in a while. And since this is my podcast, and I can do whatever the fuck I want with it, I thought that might be a fun idea. That's what we're doing today. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't have. Why is it so dark? That's better. Now I can see myself, and that's beautiful. I wouldn't have done it if I hadn't contemplated about a specific topic a lot in the past couple of weeks. And then I started writing something about it. And then I thought I might as well share it because it might be something of interest for some people. Or maybe not. And that's also fine. But I'm doing it regardless. So, maybe you can find something useful somewhere within my thoughts. Maybe you can't. It's kind of like a diary entry. And now I'm reading it out for everyone to listen to. And that's kind of vulnerable, which feels kind of weird, but also beautiful at the same time. And I think that's also cool. It's obviously an episode where I'm reading and I'm not yapping as much. That's also weird. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. We apologize for the delay. All agents are attending other callers. Please stay on the line. I hear the robotic sounding voice on the phone for the 10th time in 5 minutes. I feel anxious, mainly because I hate waiting, partially because I hate important phone calls, and a little bit because I feel like with me on the line is my whole future career, my ability to stay in Australia, and my education. The line I'm waiting in is with the IT team of UNSW, the University of New South Wales, where I'm currently trying to apply for studying art or creative writing. And the issue I'm having is that the pages aren't loading, and therefore I cannot apply for anything. It makes me feel helpless, useless, like a kid that's sitting in a waiting room, waiting for someone to pick them up and help with something that should be easy, that adults do without even thinking about it. And as we've already established, I hate waiting. I also hate feeling like a kid, even though I take pride in my laughter being childlike at times, in my mind being curious like a kid's exploring, and the fact that I wake up every day plan-free and ready to go and see what happens with no care in the world. But then there are situations where I have to function, where I have to adult. And they are the source of most of my anxiety these days. Maybe I'm actively turning my head away from my responsibilities because they feel so overwhelming. Or maybe I designed my life to be as free of responsibility as possible to not feel overwhelmed all the time. But now, here on the phone line with me, are all my fears of not getting what I want because I can't bring myself to act my age often enough. And I know that's untrue. What does my lack of adulting have to do with UNSW's online application systems not functioning the way they should? But I still can't help feeling like the universe is poking me, nagging me, as if saying, this is what you do from living a life like a child all the time. Don't get me wrong. I know how to do stuff. I graduated college. I had a job as a creative director. I ran a business. I moved to the other side of the world on my own, not knowing a single soul here. And I made my way into the most loving friend group, chosen family, I could have ever imagined. What I could have done differently is take care of things earlier. At least that's what I'm always thinking. I could have done this earlier. It could have all been easier, and I could have already been done with it. And then I'm thinking, but I didn't make this decision earlier. I made it a couple of weeks ago. And how should I have known to apply a month ago when I didn't know that this is what I want a month ago? And still, I feel like I'm at fault. The issue with making decisions is it's really fucking hard. And also I'm bad at making decisions. And I'm indecisive. Because it's hard to know that I want pizza because there's also sushi and pasta and pad thai. And it's hard to know that I want to live in Australia when I have wonderful friends, family and potential waiting for me in Berlin. It's hard to be an artist when I could also be a therapist, a writer, or a sea biologist, or own a cafe, or be an astrophysicist. And it's really hard when you're an overthinker, contemplating every decision you've ever made at night at 3 a.m. when the world around you is finally still and quiet enough for you to hear your own thoughts. It's hard to decide on something when you always want everything. So the way I've been making most of my life's decisions are for the plot. Because the plot, my friends, is hilarious and keeps me entertained, and I'm really into entertainment. This is also not true, to be honest. I'm a writer of lists, pros and cons, prioritizing each point on a scale of 1 to 3, going through 5 steps decision-making processes, having coaching calls with my former boss, no, not no thing, Kipling Matrix, having coaching conversations with my dad. Hell, I work for a training company for analysis. I know how to get my information sorted in order to make a decision. The problem is, that's just the information put into the most logical order. But I don't make decisions with my head. I decide with my heart. And it's really hard to make a decision with your heart when you give a little bit of your heart to everyone and everything that you've ever loved. When your heart is globally splintered and you want everything all at once. So you sit there trying to make the decision to stay in Sydney, and then you think about watching the sunset on a rooftop with your best friend in Berlin and about the smell of the spaghetti your dad is cooking, and you so long to be there. And when you made up your mind to go back to Europe, you sit in your living room in Sydney with your housemates, wine and laughter on your lips, tears rolling down your face, and you think, how could I ever leave this? And you're also on your period. So you can't trust what your heart wants for the next 5 business days anyways. I read something about decisions this morning, and it went like this. I think about decisions in 3 ways: hats, haircuts, and tattoos. Most decisions are like hats. Try one on, and if you don't like it, put it back and try another. The cost of a mistake is so low, so move quickly and try a bunch of hats. Some decisions are like haircuts. You can fix a bad one, but it won't be quick and you might feel foolish for a while. That said, don't be scared of a bad haircut. Trying something new is usually a risk worth taking. If it doesn't work out, by this time next year you will have moved on, and so will everybody else. A few decisions are like tattoos. Once you make them, you live with them. Some mistakes are irreversible. Maybe you'll move on for a moment, but then you'll glance into the mirror and be reminded of that choice all over again. Even years later, the decision leaves a mark. When you're dealing with an irreversible choice, move slowly and think carefully. I like this. And I disagree with the last part. There are maybe 3 decisions in life that are really, truly irreversible. Don't make those decisions lightheartedly or at all. But all the other tattoo decisions are actually reversible. Like with a tattoo, it will cost time and money and effort, and it might be painful. But like with a tattoo, you can laser those decisions away until at one point there's only a faded mark on your skin, like a light whisper of what once was. You might not have the resources to reverse every tattoo decision, and you shouldn't get a tattoo without thinking about it before, and you shouldn't make decisions without doing so either. That being said, I have a ruler tattooed on my arm, a star on my hip, the lady from The Lady and the Tramp on my other arm, and 3 random dots on my fingers, and I fully plan to live with those silly tattoos for the rest of my life because they are fun. Some tattoo decisions are big, but not that deep. And you live with them and you embrace them and you say, yep, I did that, and what a time that has been. Finally, someone picks up my call and they help me getting through my application. In the end, I click send and take a deep breath. I feel happy somehow, knowing I did my part, and I feel sad somehow, knowing I did my part and now it's out of my hands. Those are the worst decisions, when you have nothing to do with them anymore. When you finally made up your mind and then someone else gets to decide your fate. I want my ability to make decisions back, and I'm glad I'm done making decisions at the same time. And I think about my sister who told me yesterday that that's what being an adult is like. Whatever decision you make, there are compromises on both ends. But I'm done making my decisions. And today isn't the day to deal with the compromises. Today's the day to unpack my tattooing gun and tattoo myself and then maybe some of my friends for the plot. Well, that was it. That was very different. And I had a lot of fun though. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this as well. And, but we're still doing Song of the Week. Just give me a second, please, because I need to think about it and go through my songs. To be fair, I've been listening to a lot of music recently, mainly because I am working at a cafe and I'm always on the aux, which is great, but it's also a bit annoying because you always have to listen to stuff that other people also want to listen to. And sometimes I just feel like I want to listen to Iron Maiden and they say no. And that's really sad. What a shame. But Between Friends More, what a song. And Remy Wolf, Liz. I think those two are my 2 favorites. Also, the new Taylor Swift album came out last week. And all I can say is I'm a Midnights girly, but Who's Afraid of Little Old Me altered my brain chemistry in a way that I don't know yet if it's great or not. But it happened. It was good, I guess. And yeah. Anyways, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be back in 2 weeks with another guest. I don't know who it's going to be yet, so that's that. But yeah, we'll go back to normal in 2 weeks from now, I think. And if we don't, I'm very sorry about that. I swear I'm not trying to lie to you. I'm just very bad at planning. So yeah, I hope you're having an amazing day, whatever you're doing, wherever you are. Okay, cool. Bye. Bye.